Hello, welcome to the BT360 podcast, What's Up in Business Travel, a weekly podcast where we update you on what's up this week in the world of business travel. This podcast is great for those who need to know what's happening, all in less than 15 minutes. My name is Ash. Let's get started. It is Monday, April 21st, and we have completed week 15 of 2025. As a reminder, BusinessTravel360.com is a great resource to take advantage of for everything business travel. Here you can listen to great podcasts, take advantage of business points and status match offers, and even have some fun with some videos. Check all of this out at BusinessTravel360.com. Now, let's get to the headlines. The number of March trips sold by U.S. corporate agencies, those with at least 70% self-reported corporate and government business, dropped year over year for the third month in a row. This is according to the latest report by ARC. The March figure was down 0.82% year over year after declining 2.9% in February and 0.4% in January. March total U.S. sales reached over $9 billion, a decline of 0.2% year over year. Total passenger trips reached over 27 million, an increase of 6%, and the number of domestic trips increased by nearly 7% to over 16 million, while international trips were up 5.5% to more than 10 million. NDC transactions accounted for 20% of the March total ARC reported and settled, compared with 18% reported in March of 2020, with a total of 890 agencies reporting NDC transactions. The average price for March for a domestic round-trip ticket was $536, down from both the $571 reported in March of 2024 and $562 reported in March of 2025. The average price in March for an economy class ticket declined 3% year over year. The average price for a premium ticket for the same period was down 1%. Business travel industry optimism has taken a hit in the wake of the recent U.S. government actions concerning the economy and immigration, and some buyers are saying that they're cutting down inbound travel to the U.S. This is according to a GBTA poll of over 900 industry professionals. The poll, fielded from March 31st through April 8th, showed 31% of surveyed industry professionals, a respondent base of which buyers comprised about half, said that they were optimistic about the overall industry outlook. That marked a drop of 36 percentage points from a GBTA poll in November that showed a positive outlook from 67% of the respondents. 40% of the respondents in the current poll said that the outlook was neutral, and 26% had a pessimistic outlook. In light of the U.S. government's actions through the implementation of tariffs and its cross-border policies, 27% of buyers said that they expect their business travel spending to decline this year, with an average expected decline of 20% compared with 2024. And 29% of the buyers said that the average trip volume would decline by an average of 21%. 44% of the respondents said that their spending and volume would not be affected by U.S. policies. 9% of the buyers said that the policies would boost their trip volume by an average of 11%, and 11% of buyers said that U.S. policies would boost spending by an average of 11%. A new research from Amadeus explores what travelers are looking for from their trip and how technology can make those ambitions come true. The report, called Travel Dreams, draws on input from about 6,000 travelers from US, China, India, UK, France, and Germany to understand how they chose where to visit and what they want to book and factors that might impact their trip. The study found that 2/3 of hotel guests are willing to pay for extras, such as specific view or floor, or have an Xbox in the room, or have a local attraction added to the package. Research shows that these features can add about 12% to the average daily rate, which could increase their revenues by over $5,000 per room per year. Business travelers are looking for more technology in their pursuit for efficiency, with 71% of business travelers interested in a form of online and self-check-in. Nearly a quarter, 22% of business travelers want the option to pay with cryptocurrency or a digital wallet in the future, suggesting that payments landscape could also be shifting. With the March 7 deadline for Real ID-enabled driver's license for flyers fast approaching, a TSA spokesperson said that flyers without acceptable IDs should plan to arrive at the airport about 3 hours early for the verification process. The spokesperson also said that flyers with acceptable IDs should not expect to wait longer on security lines because the TSA will pull those from the line who do not possess an acceptable ID. Flyers who are pulled aside may be asked to complete an ID verification process, which the TSA says includes collecting information such as your name and address to confirm your identity. If travelers decline to cooperate with the verification or that their identification cannot be confirmed, they may not enter the security checkpoint. The TSA said that only 81% of travelers at TSA checkpoints present what will be an acceptable ID. One official said that if 19% of travelers don't have a compliant ID on the day, in which 2.5 million people go through security checkpoints, that means almost 500,000 people will need to be pulled aside for non-compliant IDs. Now in news that impacts the travel industry. Hertz, the parent company of Hertz, Dollar, and Thrifty Rent-A-Cars, on April 2nd completed the analysis of a data breach that occurred in late 2024 and that Hertz acknowledged on February 10th through a notice on its website. The breach involved Clio Communications, a U.S. Hertz vendor that provides a file transfer platform. The unauthorized third party exploited zero-day vulnerabilities within the Clio platform. A zero-day vulnerability is a security flaw that has been disclosed but not yet patched. Hertz concluded that the personal information compromised may include the name, contact information, date of birth, credit card information, driver's license information, and information related to workers' compensation claims. Hertz said that it was not aware of any misuse of personal information for fraudulent purposes in connection to the event. Austrian Airlines and SAS were the top European airlines for on-time performance in March, with both recording a punctuality rate of over 90%. This is according to the latest figures from OAG. Lufthansa Group Austrian Airlines had an on-time performance of 92% last month, which puts it in the 7th place globally behind top performers Oman Air at 96%, Royal Jordanian at 94.6%, and Saudi Arabian Airlines at 94.1%. SAS was in the 10th place overall with an on-time performance of almost 92%, while Aer Lingus ranked 15th with a punctuality rate of just under 90%. Both British Airways and Virgin Atlantic saw cancellation rates of almost 4%, with their performance impacted by the closure of London Heathrow on March 21st. Among other European airlines, Lufthansa Airlines ranked 30th with an on-time performance of 86%, while Air France was 47th with 83%, and KLM was at the 61st position at 81%. The Federal Aviation Administration said that the helicopter company whose sightseeing chopper broke apart mid-flight and crashed in New York, killing the pilot and the family from Spain, is shutting down operations immediately. The FAA said in a statement that it would also launch an immediate review of New York Helicopter Tour's operating license and safety record. The move came hours after the New York Senator Chuck Schumer called on federal authorities to revoke the operating permits of New York Helicopter Tours. Over the last 2 decades, 5 helicopters on commercial sightseeing flights have fallen to the Hudson and East Rivers as a result of mechanical failures, pilot errors, or collisions, killing 20 people. Now in news of mergers and new partnerships. Lyft has agreed to acquire Freenow, a European taxi-hailing and mobility app from BMW Group and Mercedes-Benz Mobility for about $200 million. The transaction is expected to close at the second half of 2025. Freenow will continue to operate in more than 150 cities across Ireland, the UK, Germany, Greece, Spain, Italy, Poland, France, and Austria. Approximately 90% of Freenow's gross bookings in 2024 were generated by taxi bookings. The company's leadership team and employees are expected to remain in place. Changes to the service are not immediately planned, but the new benefits over time could include more transparency around earnings for drivers and real-time information for the best time to drive. Riders could also see consistent pricing, faster matching, and new features and modes. The companies will also focus on integration and would allow riders to use either app, whether in North America or Europe. Corporate travel data capture technology company Traxo and direct booking technology provider Traverse have formed a strategic partnership that includes deeper technical integration and marketing cooperation. As part of the agreement, Traverse, formerly New Travel prior to the 2023 rebrand, will sell Traxo's data distribution service within its dashboard solution, which allows corporate clients to manage multiple direct airline programs in a single location. Dash users can also bundle Traxo's capabilities in their contracts with Traverse to move booking data from the airline partners into Traxo's downstream partners, which includes services such as travel management companies, duty of care providers, expense technology, business travel tools, and sustainability platforms. Star Alliance members All Nippon Airways and Singapore Airlines will begin operating revenue-sharing flights between Singapore and Japan from September 2025, with the joint fare products of these services going on sale in May 2025, further deepening the commercial relationship. This will enable ANA and Singapore Airlines to offer customers additional value beyond their existing codeshare partnerships with a greater variety of fare options, enhanced coordination of flight schedules between Singapore and Japan, and seamless connectivity between the airlines. Both airlines are also working to offer enhanced reciprocal benefits for ANA Mileage Club and Singapore Airlines KrisFlyer Frequent Flyer program. Subject to regulatory approvals, the joint venture between the two airlines will also aim to extend beyond Singapore and Japan to include additional key markets. Singapore Airlines and ANA first launched their joint partnership in January 2020. And now news and new travel services and improvements. American Airlines in January 2026 and in partnership with AT&T will begin to offer free in-flight Wi-Fi on aircraft equipped with Viasat and Telesat high-speed connectivity, which accounts for about 90% of its fleet. The complimentary service will be available to members of the American Airlines Advantage loyalty program. American is also on pace to outfit more than 500 regional jets with high-speed Wi-Fi by the end of 2025. American is the last of the three largest U.S. airlines to announce plans for free Wi-Fi. Delta Airlines began offering to its loyalty members this service in February 2023, and in September 2024, United Airlines began offering the same. Scandinavian Airlines on October 1st will begin offering business class flights within Europe in response to increased customer demand for premium service. SAS currently offers business class only to Asian and North American routes. The business class cabin on European flights will offer an enhanced dining experience and blocked middle seats. Those with business class tickets will have priority check-in and boarding. Southwest Airlines will begin the retrofitting process to create its new extra legroom seats, beginning with the Boeing 737-800 and MAX 8 aircrafts. Southwest in July announced that it would introduce extra legroom seats, one of the several changes the airline last year made to its operations. The first plane with the extra legroom seats is scheduled to enter into service as soon as May 1st. Boeing 737-700 aircraft are next in line for the retrofit to begin after the summer. Extra legroom seats will be located in the first 5 rows of the aircraft as well as near the exit rows. With that, thank you for joining us, and I would like to ask you to tune in again next week on Monday morning to get your weekly update. We hope that you will make this a regular part of your week and listen in while you're on the move or sitting back and sipping your coffee. You can subscribe to this podcast by searching Business Travel 360 on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, or Pandora. Be sure to share this podcast with everyone you know so that they can also benefit from getting to know more about what's up in business travel. You can always find more information on businesstravel360.com. Have a great day and travel well.